everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to discuss about governance, risk and compliance or GRC in cybersecurity. My name is Gauri and today we can go through how the GRC serves as a powerful foundation to align the cybersecurity strategies with business objectives, manage risk effectively and ensure the compliance with critical regulations. Whether you are a student, professional preparing for an exam, this section will give a practical insight like the real world scenario, framework guidance to understand how GRC strengthens organization relations. So let's dive in and understand why GRC is not just a word, it's necessary in the today's threat driven world. So let's move. So let's unlock the cybersecurity success, a true guide to the GRC fundamentals. So the first we are going to look at what are the things we are going to see in this video. So as I said, the GRC, like I said, a cybersecurity exchange belong to a technical defense. So in this we are going to guide about what is GRC, what are the real world business challenges, GRC framework, risk management using GRC, complaints and regulations, and GRC implementation strategies. So firstly, what is GRC? So GRC means like the full form of that is governance, risk management, and compliance. So with G means like governance means like we have to ensure that the cybersecurity effort are aligned with the overarching like business goals and strategic direction. It established that framework and oversight for the security operation. So in simple words, we can say that so if in a company or in a world without any governance, so it will be so like the rules will be not followed properly. Everything is done on in their own wish. So it is there is no proper law, there is no proper law. Everything is not a full completely in the not a proper way. We can't able to achieve goals. So governance means that we are putting some effort to achieve our goals and to give a strategy direction. So it will help us to get our reach our goals. And then it's about the risk management. It's involved identifying, assigning, and mitigating the potential threats and vulnerabilities. So this proactive approach that minimize the impact of the adverse event. So it means like we have to, if any risk has happened, we have to identify it, we say assessing that, we have to mitigate that. So risk management is the process that if any company, if any world there is happen any risk, we have to identify that. We have to like what are the things we have to find if you found out the risk, what we have to do, like they identify and mitigate the cyber risks through the practices like vulnerability assessment and threat modeling. So this is what we have to do in the risk management. And next is comes about like the complaints. So complaints mean like the guarantees the like other to the all the relevant laws, industry standard and internal policy avoiding the legal and penalty reputational damage. So complaints means like we have been given a rule in the governance and we have to for like we have in the second one we have to mind that if any risk has been happen in the complaints that if the rules or the policies doesn't maintain doesn't follows in the complaint, there will be legal penalties or reputational damage will happen. For example, if a company we are giving a law about you have to like for example a company is saying like you have to come at the 9 o'clock and you can leave at 5 o'clock. If the person is not following like coming at the his own wish like at 12 o'clock 1 o'clock, so like there will be no working time, the like what will say the production, what are the things will be lessing, it will be decreased, so the company is getting damage or reputation damage will be there. So for that we have to follow that rule to get reach our goal. So like that in a company we have to if any rules is not followed, there will be legal penalties. So for example we can see an example that will be understand more about GRC. So that the security team there is a company like launching a new mobile app. So the security team want to like a string control while the business prioritizes rapid market entry, and the GRC like bridge the app that align the cybersecurity measure with this business strategies about the paperwork. So it's about the secure and responsibility while meeting the business objective. So for example, in simple words, in a company, if there will be law and the policy, the company will work the achieve their rules. Goals and also the risk management for a in a if a cybersecurity is working in the GRC, what the role is that we have to identify any vulnerabilities there. If any vulnerabilities before we have been found, or we have to find before the people are getting into it. So the risk management is the process of finding the vulnerability, identifying, assessing, analyzing, and mitigating. So complaints means if anyone didn't follow that rule, there will be follow a legal punishment. So this is what the GRC means. Now let's look what is GRC framework. So GRC framework, which means like it provides a structured pathway like to manage the complexity and the complaints and risk. So this framework is essential tool for the organization and navigation a global regulatory landscape, ensuring that the centralized and consistent approach to information security. So so in short, we can say about the GRC framework is like it is a structured approach that helps the organizations and manage their governance, risk and compliance effort in a cohesive words. Like it provide a roadmap for addressing various interconnection aspects of the business operation, promoting effective efficiency, informed decision making, and adherence regulations. So by doing this, we can get the, improve the decision making, enhance operational efficiency, reduce the risk and cost, and also it helps us to increase the transparency and accountability, strengthen the stakeholders' time. So it is like compliance with the regulation and improve the security process. So there are some kind of framework that is mostly popular. So first one is about the, I will mark here. So that is ISO or IES we can say. So it's like a 27001. So there are so many framework, but this is the one of the most popular, that is ISO 27001. So which is like which focus on information security like management, that is ISMS. So it provide a systematic approach to manage the sensitive company and information. So as mentioned, like it provide a framework for the information security system management. So it is like related to like it helps us to turn offer the structured approach in the governance. So ISA 2700 means like it provides a structured approach to manage information security, including risk assessment, control implementation, and continuous improvement. And next, it is about the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. So it is like another type of framework which help us to offer a flexible framework with the 5 core functions. That is, first we have to identify, then we have to protect, then detect, and then respond, then recover. So this is what we had to do. So NIST is working in the what we will be using is like it also its same provides structured information, but it identify means like understanding the business contents and asset and provide potential threats, and protect means like implementing security control to safeguard system data, and detect means like it establish a monitoring capability to identify the security breaches. For last, that is response means like developing procedure for handling security incident. At last, that is recover. So it's like a planning for the restoration of the business operation after a security incident. So this is what is about the NIST. So it also help in improve the risk management, enhance the compliance, also better decision making. So this is what this framework we are using. And next, it is about the COSO. So it's about, so it is developed by a community, so by a community of like a sponsoring organization of threat-based commission, that is COSO. So it provides a structure and established as maintain the effective internal controls and risk management practices. So the framework helps the organization to achieve their objectives and improve the operational efficiently. So in this COSO framework, it is a comprehensive system for the internal control, risk management, and governance. So it provides some principle and guidance for the organization to establish an effective internal control to mitigate risk and achieve their objectives. And this framework is applicable to the various type of organization and industries like control environment, risk assessment, control activities, and such other monitoring activities. So this is what the COSO means like. Okay, next we can move to what is risk management in the GRC. So GRC risk management is the second step that after the governance. So as said, that is a structured approach to identifying, assessing, and mitigating the potential risks that could hinder organization ability to achieve the objectives. So in this there are mainly 4 things, that is risk identifying, assessing, mitigating, and monitor. So let's look what is identifying. So identify is a pinpoint potential risk that such as an insider threat and system vulnerabilities and external attack. So firstly we have to identify what is the it involves the proactively identify the potential risk across the various areas including operational, finance, legal and security domain. In the seconds of the assessment, that is risk assess, so it helps us to evaluate the likelihood and potential impact to identify the risk on the business operations. So which means once a risk has been identified, the potential impact as mentioned the likelihood of occurrence impact and the likelihood of occurrence are assessed. So this helps to prioritize which risk should be required immediate action. So likelihood and impact means we are giving the what kind of risk the critical, medium, high, easy. According to that we can provide the assessment. And that is third is mitigating. Mitigate means implement the security control and strategies to reduce or eliminate the identified risk efficiently. So which means it's a strategy are developed by or implemented to reduce the likelihood or impact of the identified risk. So this can be able to involve the implementing controls, developing consistency plan or transferring the risk. And the last, that is about monitoring. So it's a continuously tracking the risk, explore through the regular audit as improve the process. So which means ongoing the monitoring of the risk and effectiveness of mitigation effort is crucial. So this include regular and also we have to regular reporting to the stakeholder to ensure that the transparency and accountability. So this is the four things in the risk management of the GRC. When the company adopt a new cloud-based ERP, so GRC helps them map potential risk like a data breach or misconfiguration access. So this access severely reduce the exposure, transform security risk into a strategic business conversation rather than purely technical one. So this is what the risk management in the GRC means. Now we can look what are the compliances and regulatory requirement. So next we can talk about the complaints regulatory requirement. So complaints, as I mentioned before, it's if you didn't follow that the law or the legal boundaries and the industry standard, the systematically managed regulatory requirement, the GRC has to avoid the penalties, build trust with the stakeholders. If you didn't follow, there will be legal punishment. If you follow, that will help us to build trust and stakeholders. And we can look some regulatory requirements in this, which means there's some laws we have to follow. If we didn't follow, what all things we can gonna happen. So first thing it is about GDPR. So it's like General Data Protection Regulation. So it's a European Union law which is focused on data privacy and security. So it's a main aim to give the individuals more control over their personal data, standardize the data protection across the Europe. So that the GDPR applies to the organization that collect or process the data of any individual within the EU or the regardless of the organization locally. For example, if in India we are collecting the Europeans data, personal details, we have to follow the GDPR rules. So by following that, it helps us to know that if they even say no, the organization is based on EU or not, the data can be able to taken. So the main purpose is the data protection the law across the Europe. So next is about the HIPAA. So HIPAA means Health Insurance Portability Accountability Act. So it is a Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act in the US. So it's a act in 1996. So it set a standard for protecting and sensitive the patient health and information, ensuring its privacy and security. So HIPAA that regulate how the healthcare provide insurance, insure and related the entity handle potential health information, that is PHI. So the main purpose is privacy, then security and portability and fraud detection. So next is about the PCI. So the PCI DSS. So it's like a payment card industry data security standard. It's a global standard for organization to handling when they what they have to do when they're handling credit card data. And what about the SOC? That is, it's about US federal law that require the public companies to maintain the accurate financial record. And that's CCPA, that is California Consumer Private Act. So it is a California law which is enhancing the privacy right and the consumer protection for the residents. So these are the regulatory requirements we have to follow. And now we can look what are the GRC implementation challenges and best practices. So the common challenges we will face is about the lack of executive support and clear vision. So for example, if in a company, if we are giving in the company the people or the employees doesn't know what are the GRC rules. We can't able to teach them properly. So if we didn't follow the GRC rule, the company will face the consequence. So what's the to that? I'm following this executive support and clear vision. Next is about same as other poor awareness and training among the diversity. And third is solid department leading to fragment effort. And fourth is overcomplicated process that deter adoption. Means like some GRC in some companies the persons will say the cost is high so we can't able to take. And also some will say that it's overcomplicated to understand what are the things to go through the policies. So these are the challenges you can be able to face. And now the best practices is about like even if it's a start small and scale gradually based on success. So if anybody is saying that we can't able to do the GRC, just start a small way to scale, and they will see the success in that company, that in the small area, so they will automatically move to the GRC fully. And the LNGRC initiated directly with the core business priorities and leverage the automation tools to consistent complaints and tracking. And last, that is actively foster a persuasive, security aware organization. So that's what about the today's video. So in this video, we have to discuss about what is GRC, real world business challenges, framework, risk management using GRC, compliance and regulation, and GRC implementation and strategies. So thank you for staying with me through the deep dive into GRC and the cybersecurity. We have explored how the GRC framework like ISO 27001, NIST, COSO help manage risk, support regulatory complaints, and align security with the business goal. And also we also analyze the real life scenarios, the lesson from the things, and deter the response patterns. So remember, successful GRC is not about the tools and the policy. It's about the culture, leadership, and complement. So if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to like, subscribe and share this video with others preparing for the cybersecurity journey. Until next time, stay secure and stay compliant. Bye.